This season of My First Dungeon is sponsored by Soul Muppet Publishing and their Kickstarter campaign for Orbital Blues Afterburn. We have been fans of Soul Muppet Publishing for a while now and are beyond excited to be working with them as part of this campaign. Zach, Sam, Josh, and the entire team at Soul Muppet Publishing create the kind of games that we love to play. Ones that target specific experiences and leverage every aspect of the text, the visuals, and the mechanics of the game to support players and their game masters at the table. Everything in Orbital Blues Afterburn will absolutely deliver on that same promise. Click on the link to the Kickstarter campaign in our show notes to help back this excellent project and to support an awesome company like Soul Muppet Publishing. And with that, enjoy the show.
Liftoff in 3, 2, 1. Godspeed, cowboy.
The mysterious vacuum of infinity is unsurprisingly very familiar. Corporations still have a stranglehold on prosperity, doling it out to the select few. But you've ever known anyone who was select fewed? Most people scrape by gig to gig, hoping for a break that will never come. Space isn't different. It's just bigger. And when our Moon Age daydream of the final frontier turned out to be filled with all the same troubles and blues of Earth, we left the pale blue dot behind and accepted our lot in the frontier galaxy. And thus began the new Rebel Age. But that was some time ago now. These days, if you've got a ship underfoot and a few credits in your pocket, then you have what every interstellar outlaw wants: freedom. Unfortunately for you all, you don't have credits in your pocket. In fact, you're in debt and you're on a deadline. Pay off a 6-credit debt or risk losing your ship, losing your home, losing your freedom. Of course, you could run, but even the infinite expanse is surprisingly small. However, it looks like your luck has just started to change because you've got your sights set on a bounty that will clear the slate and let you keep flying. There are lots of cowboys out there, and they're all hunting for John Tequila Rogers and the surprisingly steep 6-credit bounty he's got on his head. But you've got one thing that they ain't got. You've got a lead. When John Tequila broke out of Folk Song Penitentiary just a few days ago, he needed someone to fly him off-world. That someone was Richard Dick Whiskey. A small-time criminal ain't worth the cost of beaming his mug on the bounty board to the thousands of cowboys across the system, but luckily for you, you tracked Dick to a small farming moon called Days Gone By. Luckily for Dick, however, he saw you coming. Our story doesn't begin in the stars, it begins on the ground, and it doesn't begin with you flying, it begins with you running. We open on the marsh moon of Days Gone By. This is a moisture and soil farm moon. It's an entirely agricultural area. You see greenhouses all around you, making fertile soil to be sent off-world. This is a fairly small community, but as you look, you see off in the distance your quarry. Richard Dick Whiskey, his eyes wide, his legs long, and he is running as fast as he can away from you towards parts unknown. He knows the landscape, you don't. I would like everyone to roll for some initiative. Initiative in this game, it's roll 1d3 plus savvy. So roll a d6, take half, round it up, and then add your savvy.
Oh, that's a 1.
Starting off hot with some math, folks.
Eli's not a smart man.
Not a mathin' kind of a man.
Boss, Kumari, what'd you get?
4.
4. Eli, what'd you get?
3.
Ward,
1.
Blank,
3.
and Maria.
4.
As you guys look off into the distance and see this lead that you've been chasing for the past few days running off past a number of greenhouses and through the windy kind of streets that are the areas between these, essentially this entire area is just pockmarked with greenhouses and various gardens. Dick is running between them as only an outlaw can, as only someone on the run can. Kumari and Maria, you both rolled 4. I'm going to say, Kumari, since you are the captain, the boss, if you will, tell us what do you do and describe your character.
Kumari is a tall, lanky person with like half-shaved head, like think Natalie Dormer in Hunger Games type style haircut. Has like a treble clef tattoo on the right side of their face. Wearing like a long duster, like leather, like black leather chest piece and like pants, high knee boots. They look incredibly intimidating. Have like a mechanical eye, missing their right arm, and they're sprinting through like this place, like a little bit ahead of Maria, clearly like in thought, and like they're like pushing aside people and like jumping over things and whatnot, like cool action stuff. And then there's kind of yelling. So I noticed only Maria showed up to the team meeting today, and guys, it's showing up at our work right now. As they try and chase down Dick.
As you are chasing down Dick, you see them off in the distance. Dick's just shouting back, "Hey guys, just leave me alone! It's just fine. Just get out of here. You can find someone more worth your time. Come on!" And it's just serpentining through. What do you want to do for your action? Do you want to try to roll something with your muscle, something with your savvy, something with your grit? What are you trying to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna say like it's like a market kind of thing in the area, like people selling stuff.
Yeah. There's a bunch of people who have like stalls and gardens and these greenhouses all over the place. It's honestly like it has the vibe of windy streets of like a densely packed city, but it's all greenery.
Cool. I'm gonna stop at like the closest fruit stand, and it's snake fruit. I'm gonna grab a snake fruit, like use my muscle to like throw it really hard at Dick and incapacitate that motherfucker.
Yeah. Go roll a check for me. So you're gonna roll 2d6 and add your muscle. In this game, you're always trying to get or beat 8.
Oh, and also Kumari, I think in the episode 0, their muscle was 1, but I changed that off mic to 2. 0 grit and 1 savvy for all the folks paying attention out there.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
What'd you get?
7.
7. Oh, you chuck this snake fruit, and last minute you see Dick swing around and go, Jesus! Ducks, and it shatters into one of the nearby greenhouses, like breaking out one of these like triangular windows that is part of a greenhouse. Hey man, come on! I'm almost back to 0. I can't go back. And he just runs around a corner.
Kumari like turns to the crew and goes, I usually hit those. I'm sorry, guys. I usually hit those. I was off my game.
That was a real nice throw, boss.
Team meeting didn't seem to help.
My what?
Huh?
All right. You go ahead. Go get it. Go get it, team.
Maria, you also rolled a 4. You're up next. Tell us, what does Maria look like, and what do you do to try to capture your quarry?
Maria James is just the most basic bitch you ever did see. She's got a real average face. She's wearing denim overalls. She got the cowboy boots. They're nothing fancy. She real basic. Got her hair in a braid. Nice long. No makeup. Nothing special. But she keeping right along with the boss. And does she see any rope?
I think Maria would probably come prepared.
Maria's used to. She didn't have a lot of skills, so she makes do with what she has. She has got some rope on her hip. She gonna get that lasso going.
And you're gonna try to lasso Dick?
Yep. This is what we do when there's a runaway steer on the ranch back home. Been a while, but I think I still got it.
Go ahead and roll 2d6 and add your, I'll say add your savvy for this one.
There's a 4 and a 1, and my savvy is +2, so that is 7.
7, not enough. You
Give her a second.
You are able to send this lasso out. It goes over top of Dick. However, he's so thin and gaunt that it actually passes straight through him. Like you tug it, and it tugs to nearly like as tight as it can go, and he's still just like slips through it. And actually dives through the triangular window that you broke in the greenhouse.
Damn it.
And like as he goes through, he's like pushing down various like potted plants and stuff and trying to like close off that window essentially. So he's now found himself in this greenhouse, and the entrance that he went through is now blocked off, or at least will take a second to clear. It's Dick's turn. So he is going to
bastard.
I think he's going to try to hide here.
Classic Dick.
Classic Dick.
Dick's
And
love
he's rolled
hiding.
savvy. He rolled 4 plus 1, so that is 9. You guys see Dick disappear into this greenhouse, and you lose sight of him. You know he's in this large greenhouse, but it is like a football field-sized greenhouse. You know he's in there. You can see where the exits are, or at least where the obvious ones are, but you've lost an immediate visual. Eli, you see this happening, and you see Dick vanish from view into this greenhouse. What do you do? And tell us, who is Eli O'Connor?
Eli O'Connor's the saddest cowboy around. You see, long, lanky, thin, like the captain, but a little more gaunt. And I ain't got no fancy armor. All I got is a cyberpunk yellow cowboy jacket with a big high collar. You know, real cyberpunk looking collar. And then I got a cowboy hat and a sad look in my eyes. Sad look in my eyes. I got dusty leather bell bottoms. Kind of like, y'all know Norman Rockwell? What it looks like Norman Rockwell painted a teenager, young man, and who was a cowboy, but Norman Rockwell was also a weeb. That's what Eli O'Connor looks like. So he knows. He's the sad cowboy, and he knows the price of rushing into things. So he's going to think about that and immediately gain a blues when he remembers what it cost him the last time he rushed into something without thinking about it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And we can see our first instance of someone gaining the blues. This is something we're going to gain throughout the game. When you get to 8 blues, you get to deal or reckon with your troubles as they come a-brewing. But for now, one of our cowboys gets a little sadder, and we know that in this game, sad equals XP, baby.
Sad equals fun. Sad equals fun.
Eli thinks about the last time he did something without thinking. Last time he was real rash, and it cost him the greatest and only love that he's ever known. And so he thinks about that, gets real sad, and then he looks to his teammates and kind of gestures around to cover all the exits. And he'll sidle up to an exit himself, the closest one, and kind of peek in and see if he can see this damn Dick whiskey.
Kamari goes, yeah, good idea, Eli. Rush on in there. Get in there. As your captain.
He just gives you a little nod with his little sad cowboy hat. The hat is cool, but he's sad under the hat.
Of course.
Right, the hat
sad.
itself
Right,
is
yeah.
not sad, to clarify.
Yeah.
The hat is happy.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Carolyn, why don't you go ahead and make me a savvy check as you try to spot Dick as you're looking in through the door.
Is this 1d6 or 2d6?
It'll always be at least 2d6.
Always at least 2. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Except for initiative where it's just 1.
Wait, can I use my gambit to give Eli advantage?
Yeah, sure. Why don't you tell everyone what is your gambit?
So my gambit is the captain. Once per scene, when me or one of my crew tries to do something, you can roll with the upper hand on that check. I can like as your captain, I have to like explain why I would be telling you to do this or whatever.
Hell yeah. So yeah, Carolyn, you can roll 3d6 and take the higher 2, and then you still add your savvy.
Oh, I will do that. Okay, that's gonna be an 8. And then my savvy is +1, so that'll be a 9.
You got it.
Yeah.
Woo!
Kumari, as you shout out this order, what do you say?
Eli, stop being sad and go find him, please.
I sniff away a tear and then go find it.
as you sniff away your tear, you kind of like flick your head and the tear kind of flies through the air, and you happen to see a glint in that tear
The drama.
of a very lanky, oily, kind of greasy, just like slime ball looking guy. But in that glint, you also see the metallic glint of a snub-nosed 45 in his hand.
Can I... Do I have a draw on him? Can I draw on him? Or I guess with getting up like my movement.
I think yeah, you now have a bead on where he is.
Okay.
So you're able to, however you want to communicate that to the people, you see him hiding behind a planter, like back to a large, what appears to be kind of like a palm tree, like a just straight up out of like LA big ass palm tree, and he's hiding behind it. You saw a brief flash of him like panting very heavily, holding what appears to be like a very shitty snub-nosed 45 in his hands, kind of like anxiously looking around.
Everyone, this snake's cornered. We gotta smoke him out of his hole.
As you say that, you see a familiar figure pass by. Blank, why don't you tell us what you look like and what you do?
Yeah. I guess I got a question before I get into describe my character. Can I be riding my board?
Oh, you can absolutely be riding your board.
Perfect. You probably hear me before you see me. I think I was lagging behind, probably because I turned back to get my board.
Why did you go back to the ship?
I went back to the ship to get my board. But then you hear a rumbling, very much like a motorbike in the distance. And then you see Blank. They're about 6'1", kind of lean build, black mask person. They have kind of very much a Mad Max kind of look about them. So they have like a tattered kind of tank top, very battered leather pants, way too many knee pads and elbow pads going on. A bandana that's kind of way too long at the back. That's almost, you would mistake it for a scarf with how long it goes and how ragged it is. And the thing that is probably the most strange about them is they have a plain white, pristine white mask with absolutely no features, no eye holes, nothing that covers their face, and they always seem to wear at all times. The thing strapped to their back is a baseball bat with a very faded signature on it. Every time you ask him who signed it, he gives you a different player every single time. It's never the same one. And as he's riding by, he's on a hoverboard. And he's hoverboard is a generous term at this point. It hovers at the very least, but there is it's made of scraps of metal that you definitely probably found off of left behind ships or in a junkyard. At this point, it's just a scrap of floating metal, but you can see in the center, at the bottom of it, is a glowing bluish core that you can only assume is powering this thing. And as he whizzes by, he's looking down at something in his hand, and it's an old school keyboard slide out phone, and he's typing in it. And as he rides by the captain, he shows it to the captain, and it says "On it, Cap," as they whiz by into the greenhouse after Dick.
You fly by, just like passing by this, just shoving this essentially like BlackBerry in Kumari's face.
What did that even say? She was going too fast. What did that say?
Kumar, you've gotten maybe a little too used to this being the main form of communication from Blank, if not the only form of communication from Blank, just being text messages from this shitty old phone. This is like...
I like it being like a sidekick.
Oh, a sidekick, the flip
out. Yeah. Like text.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I think of sidekicks, I still think that feels like what space was supposed to be. How did we get to iPhones when we had the sidekick?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I actually forgot to mention that Blank is mute. So they communicate by typing whatever they want to say on their phone and then showing the screen to whoever they're speaking to. But yeah, they zip by into the greenhouse on their board named Calypso. I don't know if they actually saw where Eli pointed to, so I think they just zip by hoping that they'll run into Dick.
What kind of check do you want to make?
Well, I think I'd just be looking around. Is that savvy?
Go and make a savvy check. So 2d6 plus your savvy.
Oh, those are box cards. 14.
Yeah.
14? Jesus.
Yeah. I rolled 2 6s and I got +2 for savvy.
Yeah, you 100% see this guy. You're on a board that's hovering above most of the plants. You're essentially like, you know how like skateboarders ride in a bowl?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're essentially doing the outskirts of this greenhouse as a bowl, but you are like 90 degrees, if not further than 90 degrees at certain points, and taking like various things. And this board is like, I'd say it's probably pretty loud at this point. It's kind of like, it's got like a lawnmower motorcycle type vibe. But it's flying, baby. And that's all you need for space.
Yeah.
And you swing around and you see Dick Whiskey hiding behind this large palm tree, getting a bead on Eli.
Is there anything I can do? Or would that be my action?
Because I had that be Eli's action, I'm going to make that be your action. But you have a clear line of sight and shot to them, and you are like within striking distance on your next turn. Last but not least, we have another figure who is outside this greenhouse. Elliot, do you want to introduce us to Ward Jackson?
Ward Jackson. Ward he's running behind because he stepped in some various animal shit. And he's rather unhappy about it as he trails up to the greenhouse, and he's like, fuck, god fucking damn it, fuck this fucking planet, god damn it.
Kind of doing one of those run like hops where you're skipping.
He's got like one shoe off, and he's like trying to like scrape the shit off. Like he's got like an overly nice shoe for this occasion. So Ward is
Don't wear your dress shoes to the fights. I've told you guys.
I only have one outfit, boss. I only have one outfit.
You know, when you wear it so well.
Maria, don't even.
So Ward's one outfit is what was once clearly a very nicely tailored brown suit, like a deep brown suit, but clearly now is his only outfit. So you can see that it's a little wrinkled and there's a little bit of like wear and tear here and there. Got suspenders keeping his pants up. Shout out Brian, currently wearing suspenders.
Yeah.
Suspenders are cool.
Over the suit where you would expect to have like a matching brown jacket, he has a deep blue jacket, like a deep sort of royal blue jacket that is riddled with bullet holes and like some blood stains on it, but that he always wears despite the fact that it doesn't really go with the pants. And he's like a 20-somethings man, has a thick mustache and like a lazily grown out stubble around it, and hair that is the length where he used to gel it, and now it just kind of sits a little rough on his head. And he's walking up. Fuck, shit, God. How are we in the? We can get into the greenhouse now.
You see Eli standing like just outside a door, kind of has a bead on Dick, and you also see inside Blank is like just bowling around this thing, and it's like everyone's clearly pointing at you where Dick is. So you've got a pretty good idea of where Dick is, and could, if you wanted to, take some kind of shot if you wanted.
Get that, Dick?
I think Ward has like, he's taken his sock off, he's taken his shoe off, he throws the shoe to the side, and he's just walking in one shoe off, and he's like, fucking goddamn it. And he pulls out a revolver, which is loud and intimidating, and just walks in, he says, "Oh, Dick," and just fires it into the air to try and like spook him to get him to run out.
Hell yeah. Do you want to try to like make this as an intimidation check?
Yeah, like intimidation. Just like
Hell yeah.
like walking straight in, one shoe off, and just like firing this revolver in the air like Dick.
All around you, this is a greenhouse. Like there are trees and bushes. This place is cover, and you choose to utilize none of it.
Yeah.
You walk straight forward towards this tree that both Blank and Eli are kind of pointing out to you and fire into the air. Above you, you hear a as glass high above you shatters and rains down over top of Dick. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and roll I'm gonna say a muscle check,
Muscle?
and you can go ahead and add. I'll let you pick. You can pick either muscle or grit.
Oh, baby, I'm gonna pick grit.
All right, I'll let you do grit. Go ahead and roll grit.
Oh, fuck a duck. That's only a 6.
No,
Not a duck.
not a duck.
I think the glass lands on me and like gives me a little cut, and then I'm like, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fire up and
Oh, and you
glass
have
shards
no
rain
shoe.
down
There's
on you.
glass in the. Oh, god damn it.
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, you've just added a complication to this battlefield.
Oh no.
There is now glass. Oh man, this is straight up Die Hard. There's glass all over the ground. And you've only got one shoe on, baby.
Oh my god.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's Ward.
As you fire up and call out for Richard Dick Whiskey, he's just yelling out from behind the tree, "Come on, guys, I didn't do nothing. Just leave me alone." And runs off through an aisle of shrubbery and raises his gun to fire. However, it is not his turn yet.
Oh, wait.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
The revolver, I think, rolls with the upper hand when making an intimidation check because it is intimidating and loud.
Go ahead and
So I will roll one more die and see if
Roll
see
one
if
more
I can
die.
make it happen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so you fire up into the air. Glass rains down on both you and on Dick, but fuck it, you don't care. You are +2 to grit, baby. You don't give a
Just
shit.
fully stepping on glass with a
Oh,
bare
no.
foot. Yeah.
He spins out, points the gun at you, and sees you just walking forward with a coat riddled with bullet holes, walking barefoot on glass. You see this shoestring of a man wearing clothes that are three sizes too big, points the snub-nosed revolver straight at you and just goes, you see his hand kind of shaking, like fully shaking so bad he will miss wildly one way or the other if he pulls it at any wrong time. Looks at you, fires the gun far off to the left, looks at you still, fires the gun far off to the right, and you just walk straight forward as he fires 2 more shots, again missing despite his target getting closer and closer, and then looks at you as you get close enough and just goes, "Hey man, it's cool. I was just..."
You couldn't have run to a planet with less goddamn animal shit. Really?
"I'm sorry, man. This is the first place I lost my ship. I lost my money. I gotta get back to zero, man. Just, I'm doing all right."
I think Ward like pushes the revolver up into his chin and then holds back, which is part of my trouble, is holding yourself back from violence that used to be second nature to you, and rather than just shooting this guy point blank, is just gonna like thinks about it and then is like, no.
And I believe you take a blues for that.
I do take a blues for that.
You know when not killing someone makes you so sad?
Yeah,
That's
I
the kinda
don't
game
kill
this
someone
is.
and I'm like, oh, I miss my brother.
He totally would have
used to kill
murdered this
people all the
guy with
time.
me.
Dick looks at you, revolver underneath his chin, and just drops the gun, hands up, fully submitting to you, and just goes, "Man, just what do you want? Like, I'm not worth any kind of bounty. Just, like, leave me alone, man."
You know that's a lie.
Jeez, is this about John?
I wanna saunter up and kind of do good cop, bad cop with him and be like, "Well, Whiskey, looks like my friend's got you right under his boot heel. So why don't you tell us where you took Tequila, and maybe we'll just let you go on your merry way, you piece of shit."
Pushes it a little bit more aggressively.
Okay, listen, can I talk to him? He seems reasonable.
You can talk to me.
Okay, yeah, okay, listen.
And I spit at his feet. I spit
Wait.
on his boots.
No.
Eli, which one of us is the good cop?
I don't know. I ain't done this. I ain't done this before.
At the team meeting, they would have known who would have been the good cop. We had the plan.
I know we were gonna go over that whole thing, and then we couldn't very well do a demonstration with just the two of us. Who we demonstrating for?
With a name like Dick, why with a name like last name like Whiskey, why do you go by Dick? That's what I need to understand.
You know, it's the name my mama gave me, and you know why? I gotta respect
You
my
like
mother.
being called Dick Whiskey?
You know, it's fun. Some people get a laugh, some people get a chuckle. You know, it gets me a free drink every now and then.
I get it now.
Sorry, ever since Brian said Richard Dick Whiskey, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't.
Listen, man, all I did
Tell us where tequila is.
All I did was pick him up outside of Folksong Penitentiary, okay? I took him here, and then, like, man, he just whomped me at a bunch of card games, man. I mean, he's such a good fucking... I think he's cheating, but I don't know. But he took my fucking puddle jumper of a ship, took money off me, and, I mean, I was just getting back to zero, man.
Ward is as the bullet, like as he's talking and pushing, he's going da 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 da. Tequila? No.
I got it.
I got it.
I didn't.
Listen, I can't tell you for sure, but all I know is he kept talking about heading over to the Sutler system, okay? He kept talking about a girl there. I don't know, Red something. That's all I know.
Red, you say?
I don't know, red pie. I don't know, maybe she just had red hair. I don't know.
Red pie? I don't think he said red pie.
I don't think he said red pie.
Now we're playing confused cop. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
He would just said he was
Red
heading over to the
something.
Sutler system, and there was some girl, Red something, that he was trying to, I don't know, find, or I don't know. That's all I know, I swear.
Eli looks over, kind of side-eyed to the captain and say, well, Captain,
What do you think? Should we let him live, or should we take him captive, or what should we do with this little Dick Whiskey?
Captain goes up to Dick Whiskey and punches him in the face.
Oh,
I guess it ain't your day, Dick. I guess it ain't your day.
Oh, man, I just got my nose unbroke. Oh. And he, like, cracks it back into place as best he can.
Captain breaks it again.
Oh,
oh my God.
All right,
I take the captain. I like grab him back. I'm like, Captain, calm down. You're going to kill the man.
Sorry, that was Maria's plan. Said I had to break his nose twice.
Yeah.
God damn, Maria.
Well, could you do it once and you think they learned their lesson, but a lot of times they haven't. They really think you won't do it again. So you do it 2 times and then they know for sure that you mean business.
You're a fucking psycho,
The more
Maria.
time I spend around you, the more I like you, Maria.
Damn, I thought you were kind of normo, but you are hardcore.
Blank texts the types
The
on his
group
phone
chat?
and shows the no, he types on their phone and it shows the screen. You just see the like kind of worried emoji on their phone at Maria.
I agree with Blank.
Whiskey, who still has Ward's revolver under his throat, just like moves closer to Ward.
Well, yeah, that's what you got. When you working on a ranch, you can't be fooling around. You gotta be real serious. There ain't no room for mistakes.
You guys hear this pathetic voice of Richard Dick Whiskey talking about some girl named Red in some place called the Sutler System. And that name, the Sutler System, means a lot for a lot of you.
Ooh.
For a lot of you, it's a place that you did not want to return to. It's a place where a lot of troubles were born and blues were had. Some of you know this system. Some of you may know Reno 12, the primary hub city located on Georgia Alpha 2, this desert planet run by none other than the Perazzo family, who some of you may have had some run-ins with before. Also the home of a particularly interesting bar and hoverboard gang called the Reno Snakes, who have had their own run-ins with the Perazzo family. But out there in the Sutler System, there's just a few little places to go in this backwater system. There's Reno 12, this city with like a casino here and there and some backwater bars. There's a fuel station here or there. There's Sutler Orbital, kind of a by the numbers independent space station that pretty decrepit, but it still has some places to go. And there's a mining outpost city called Urban Industrial. All of you are aware of this because at some point or another, all of you had made this system your home. And for some reason or another, all left on very bad terms. There are lots of places in this galaxy you may not want to go back to. The Sutler system is certainly one of them.
I think Ward walks out at the mention of the Sutler system and goes and sits outside and starts picking glass out of his foot. Just gets real like, fuck this.
Kamari gives Maria a note of for tomorrow's meeting agenda, put Wardley has to wear shoes.
Yeah, that seems like a good rule, just kind of across the board. There's a lot of stuff you can step in that ain't good for your feet or your soul.
I love your exposition, Maria.
Your souls or your soul.
Yeah, Eli, you're so clever sometimes.
Eli was just standing right behind us the entire time, just listening.
I like to think that I contribute I'd be like Secretary of State to your VP and President.
And then
how I see
Kamari goes to Maria, put Eli down as employee of the day for today.
You got it, boss.
Eli loses all of his blues.
Cured. Pizza party.
I think Kamari looks at Dick Whiskey and goes, "You said the Sutler system?"
Yeah, man, I don't know. He kept talking about the Sutler system and some girl named Red, and I don't know. He jumped through a gate and he headed over that way. As far as I know, that's all I know. He wouldn't even take me on my own ship once he took it from me.
And then Kamari looks at everyone and goes, "Well, can't go back home this time of year." And then just starts dragging Dick Whiskey back to the ship.
Oh, come on, guys! Come on! No! I got a gig here. Come on! No! Wait! You guys pay?
Not really.
Can't join our crew, Dick. We're full up.
No! Come on, then! Just leave me here, guys! Come on!
You don't want to come back get your ship?
I mean, you gonna get my ship back for me and then give it to me?
We're going to take you in the direction
What's
of
left
your
of it?
ship, and if you happen to take it back yourself, we ain't got no problem with that.
I mean,
We can't trust this fucking worm far as we can throw him.
Maybe he could be Herbie's intern.
Yeah, I was going to make him work for
You want to
Irby.
be a robot's intern, Dick Whiskey? Does that sound like a good life for you? Yes or no?
I mean, is it a paid internship?
No.
Unpaid.
Then that's not an internship. Come on. Even in the Frontier Galaxy, we don't do that.
Is there a lake around here? We could just toss him in a lake as we
Let's
take
toss him in
off.
a lake.
I don't think we should take this guy with us. I don't want him on the
Isn't
ship.
this a swamp
but
moon? Let's
We could
toss him
time
in
it
the
outside
swamp.
the ship.
I don't need to kill him.
Well, no, we don't have to kill him. We can just toss him in the swamp. He'll make his own way.
Blank types up. We do need one more person on our ship. We've been piloting it with one less person this entire time.
Well,
God damn it. Eli spits at his feet again and says, "All right, come on, Dick. We'll pay you in food aboard. Maybe." Captain says it's okay.
yeah, it's okay.
Oh, he's such a softy. Get in here.
All right. You see, Dick is just being surrounded by a number of interstellar outlaws and toughs that are pretty much everyone just towers over him or is in some way more physically scary than him. Just kind of follows behind / in front of you guys as you start prodding him towards the ship. Your pseudo captive, pseudo crew member.
This is like getting jumped into a gang, kind of, for you, because we broke your nose,
We gotta
Wes,
break his
now
nose
you
again.
work for us.
You see him. You're kind of prodding him forward as you make your way towards the nearby spaceport. And as you get closer, you see coming over the horizon a number of ships that are kind of parked in this spaceport. And you see Dick Whiskey kind of looking at all of them and goes, I mean, come on, as long as we're not going to get on a piece of shit like that. And he points directly to the 21st night of September.
It's not too late to toss him in the swamp.
Kumari, since you are the captain, it is your ship. Why don't you describe the 21st night of September.
The 21st night of September is a pastel gal, as some would describe. Just sitting in this, like, I guess, ship docking area. It stands out like a sore thumb. Just like in different colors of pastel. I think being such a sad crew to like try and drum up some sort of good vibes, Kumari got like this horrific pastel paint job. The ship is like a medium-sized ship, has a big old bum. Big chunky little bum of a ship. It's
Bum?
a bum.
Okay.
A little caboose, if you will.
Got
A
it.
rumpus.
A rumpus.
Okay, I'm on board.
You getting what I'm putting down?
I'm picking it up. I am.
Thick with multiple
It's a thickie. Yeah, got
There's
it.
like it's like a former bounty hunter ship, and like it's pastel covered in like the Murakami flowers, right?
Yeah.
On the outside, and then as we like walk in, you see like the inside is just constant positivity of like the space posters on the walls surrounding the entire ship. Just, you know, the classics of like, no I in team, show up to team meetings, please. It's not a joke, guys. Please come to the team meetings. Sometimes it's really awkward when it's just me sitting at the table.
But they're all like, the images are all like beautiful landscapes and like stallions running. Just like this trailing sentence, like, please guys, show up.
Yeah.
Like a kitten and a puppy
absolutely,
hanging out.
yeah, done by like Kumari and like Photoshop or whatever.
How much of our pay do you spend on these prints?
A lot of them.
There is such a deep level of sadness that is forced positivity.
Yeah.
And then there's like on the walls, like every day, like someone else gets the aux cord on the ship. And so there's an aux cord schedule kind of up there. And you see like Kirby's like little like oxygen pump up station with nobody's pumped up Herbie today. And like there's a schedule of who has to pump up Herbie.
Why don't you tell me, for anyone who hasn't heard our session 0, who and what is Herbie?
Yay.
Who picked Herbie for our ship? Is that Ward?
That was Ward.
Ward, why don't you tell us what Herbie looks like?
I'll tell us about it. So just so I understand what we decided, Herbie is wind up and needs to be filled with oxygen every day.
Yeah, you wind them up to fill them
To
with
fill them with oxygen.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think Herbie has
Latest technology.
definitely not. I think Herbie has a like a frame, like a mechanical frame where very much they look like they've just been, you know, patched together by a bunch of different android parts. And you can see in different places there's like little weapons folded up in, like you're like, this robot could do some damage if it gets too much oxygen in it. And in the center is just like a deflated core that powers the whole thing. And then there is a big wind-up key on the back that you spin. And as you start spinning, it's like... And then it starts a fan going that gets oxygen into the inflatable sack. So then it fills it up and makes him look more like a full android. But otherwise, he just looks like an empty frame.
Love it. And he's currently just slumped over.
Just slumped over with the little deflated balloon center.
Yeah.
Which just looks kind of like skin, I guess, when it's deflated. Like, yeah.
Ew.
All right, first lesson you need to learn, Dick, is that Wednesday is my day for the aux cord. Second lesson you need to learn is today is your day to pump up the android, so get on it.
Oh, man.
Clockwise, Dick. Never counterclockwise.
All right. And he goes over and starts cranking, and it's a surprisingly difficult crank to do. Like, even for you guys who are
it's
like
tough.
interstellar outlaws, like this stuff.
We
for
never
him, it's
oil
like,
it. Never.
What? Just get some WD-40 in here, guys. Come on, even I know that. Oh.
Can't afford it.
And he's just slowly cranking this thing. It takes a minute or two, but he is able to kick this thing on. The fan kind of spins up, and Herbie slowly inflates this like sack, this air balloon. And as it inflates, a face kind of like essentially the frame is then filled by the balloon, and the balloon has a like crudely drawn face drawn on it. It pops into like the head slot.
I'm picturing it's like a Jack in the Box face, or like one of those like Punchy the Clown faces.
Oh my God,
Yeah, very
yes.
much
That
so.
the ones that you squeeze and it's like eyes pop out like that.
Yeah.
you see Herbie pop up and goes,
Well, hello. Who are you?
and looks, and you just see, I realize I just chose to talk to myself.
Yeah, you just did that. You did that to yourself.
It's okay. Take it away. The rest of the episode, we like it.
And Dick just goes, oh, Jesus, one of those newfangled guys.
Oh, Dick, you do have to hold up this card so that Herbie knows you're a friend and not a target.
Yeah.
You see Herbie's eyes like glow red, and 2 dots appear on the center of Dick's chest, and from the casing of Herbie's arms, 2 guns appear and points at like oblong angles directly towards his chest as you throw this card in front of Herbie's face. Oh jeez, guys, oh jeez.
What is this, Morty from Rick and Morty?
Apparently, yes. I guess that's what I've done.
Oh my
Dick
god, I
just
love
did
it.
jeez.
Morty.
I'm Dick Whiskey. You hold the card up, and Herbie does a quick scan of it, and then like body scans Dick and goes,
Oh, all right. Welcome to the ship. I need to complete a 4-hour body scan so this doesn't happen again.
All right, Dick, we'll leave you here with Herbie. We'll be back for you.
Oh,
and Maria's
man.
going to use her lasso to basically like tie Herbie on a leash so that when the Herbie can't try to run away from the scan or explore the ship after
so
the
Dick
scan.
can't?
Dick.
Sorry,
Dick.
yes, so that Dick can't run away from the scan or try to explore the ship.
Herbie, keep an eye on this worm.
You got it, boss.
and Herbie essentially, you know when you're like doing your thumbprint scan on an iPhone and you have to like press your thumb into it a million times? It's that, but for his entire body.
Just a little inflatable finger.
So Herbie's just taking his hands and smushing them all over Dick's face.
Oh my god, I love that. That's where his sensors are.
It's a long process. You guys have all had to go through this so that Herbie wouldn't accidentally attack you. But there is no other way to make sure Herbie does not attack an intruder on the ship.
True.
So you feel like it's pretty safe.
Yeah, you either have to hold up the card every single time, and we only have one set of cards.
We only have one card. If we lose the card, we can't have no more crew.
We just
And that
kind
card's
of,
on its
my
last
God.
leg.
we kind of just
Oh
keep
my
it in a
God.
slot by his oxygen tank,
Oh my god.
his charging station.
I think Herbie's the only one, because of this scan, is the only one who's seen Blank's actual face.
Yeah, oh yeah.
For sure.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I think only Herbie has that knowledge.
Herbie's been sworn to secrecy.
Yeah, and your scan took a little extra. Not only did Herbie have to do your real face, but also had to do like the mask as well.
Yeah, the mask as well, yeah.
You guys load up into the 21st night of September. As you guys kind of figure out what you're doing, before we discuss where you guys are going and how you might be getting there, we've already said that Eli O'Connor has the aux cord. Eli, what are you putting on the aux?
Yeah.
I'm going to play this song called Human by Rum.Gold, which is it's a sad song. It's a kind of a sensual song. And so I play that song and like look out, put my hand on kind of rest my hand against the window and just look out at all the stars as we take off from the planet. And like I'm kind of hearing what everyone's talking about, but I'm really just like listening to the song, staring into the middle distance. And listen to Human by Rum Gold. It's a good song.
We'll have all of these songs in our show notes on a playlist, so check them on out. Check out our Orbital Blues playlist.
See you in 3 minutes.
Midnight Muscadines is a cozy, dark tabletop role-playing game where light and shadow intertwine in a fractured world. Players take on the roles of marmoteers, brave adventurers who journey into the untamed wilderness to collect the elusive Midnight Muscadines, craft magical jams, and protect the fragile light of Nim. Through collaborative storytelling and resourceful gameplay, players weave tales of courage, community, and the pursuit of balance. Will you preserve the light, uncover the truths hidden in the shadows, or reshape the balance of the world forever? Midnight Muscadines is perfect for fans of Studio Ghibli and Sea of Stars, who seek to capture the magic of exploration and the heartfelt adventure in a world where small heroes make a big impact. Play Midnight Muscadines as a traditional GM'd game, GM-less, or even solo. Midnight Muscadines is crowdfunding now on BackerKit. Join the campaign at pandeongames.com/muscadines.
I'm Quinns of tabletop role-playing game review show Quinn's Quest, and this is Play to Find Out. Play to Find Out is an actual play podcast that brings notorious old games from the 80s and 90s back to the table. Each season of Play to Find Out, I'm joined by Emily Johnson and Rob Morgan.
Good? Nervous?
Yeah. You both looked at each other really concerned, like you think what's about to happen is going to be unpleasant. And frankly, I think that's rude.
And together, we explore the TTRPGs of ages gone by. Our goal, to separate the TTRPGs that deserve to be remembered from those that maybe don't. I don't know, Emily. It was the 80s. A lot of people were on cocaine. We blow the dust from decrepit systems to learn how they work. Your 100 on the encounter table bursts out. Right, you've encountered a fog. Get ready. Don't laugh.
Does one get ready for a fog?
Don't laugh. Encounter their unique quirks.
I do finger guns to cover up how I wince.
A weird thing happens as you do finger guns.
Oh no.
And I'm hoping that the Quinn's Quest community will join us in exploring these games too. If you this up, cannot describe to you how much your adventure ends here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because the best way to learn is to play to find out. Play to Find Out is available now on the Quinn's Quest Patreon, but the first episode of each series streams for free on the Quinn's Quest YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts. Anyway, you failed the Earth roll, and you made jokes while I was doing my exposition, so you don't get to hear any more.
Oh, no. Come on.
I was shook as...
As you guys blast off out of the atmosphere and get into shallow space just outside of this very small moon, you guys know that to get to the Sutler system, that is a number of light years away, which even in the Frontier Galaxy is difficult to travel. Very few ships have their own faster than light drive, so you could buy a faster than light drive, which none of you could ever possibly afford. You could travel the old-fashioned way, which would take you years, or you can use the Van Kier gates. These are like kind of straight out of Cowboy Bebop, a gateway that allows you to travel FTL faster than light and will get you to various systems in only a couple of hours. The problem is they are expensive, and you guys already have a 6 credit debt on your accounts.
Do you mean a 6-figure credit debt?
In this game, money is tracked by credits and debts. And so 1 credit, 1 debt is kind of like a unit of measurement. So there's not like gold. 6 credit is kind of like a large sum of money.
Got it.
Reverse inflation.
Yeah.
Cool.
So for instance, like a normal bounty is probably about 1 credit.
Okay.
Oh. So John Tequila's a bad dude.
You
Be
guys,
a bad boy.
as you guys
Naughty.
are planning where you're going to go next, and if you're going to make your way to the Van Kier gates and encourage just a little bit more debt to try to squash the debt that you already have, one of you kicks on the television and you hear,
welcome to Bounty Bingo. You trying to get the bingo today? Check out these bounties.
and 2 like flamboyantly dressed like presenters with those long like stick, like, you know, Drew Carey Price is Right stick microphones.
Yeah.
Best
begin to
microphones.
spin a giant wheel, and it lands on a number of bounties and starts popping up, like showing you all their information. And very quickly, they come about with a photograph of John Tequila Rogers wanted alive. They pull it up and they go,
Well, looks like our big bounty today for 6 whole credits. Wow, that's the biggest we've had in a while. That is John Tequila Rogers. You can see here, he's wanted alive. He escaped from Folk Song Prison just a couple of days ago. Crimes are gambling, fraud, and gambling, fraud, identity. That's it? That's it! Gambling, fraud, and identity theft. Escape from Folksong Prison. You know, this might be a clerical error. We'll check on our end, but for now, if you cash this in, 6 credits going directly into your account. All you gotta do is hand it into Sutler System Securities or any System Securities outpost along the Frontier Galaxy. Happy hunting, cowboys!
Blank, like, kind of almost way too casually drapes an arm around the captain and shows them the screen on their phone and says, "That's not many crimes for 6 credits."
Kamari looks at Blank, hugs them like I don't know, like lovingly of like, okay, we can go to the Sutler system, but we cannot go to Calypso's karaoke can.
Maria hears Kumar talk about this and really perks up. We gonna talk about that, Captain? Boss?
Yeah, karaoke. What you saying?
We're not going to Calypso's karaoke can. I don't want to go there. We're not allowed to go. I don't want to talk. Kumari looks at Maria and like the mechanical eye kind of like zooms in a little bit. And it's just like, we don't got to talk about it. What's the one rule on the ship? Let's all say in unison. Ready? 3, 2, 1. No
birthday.
No birthday talk.
I would have liked that to be more in unison, but it's okay.
We'll practice that at our next meeting.
Let's just say someone on the ship had a bad birthday there.
Someone.
Probably Maria.
Herbie, I bet.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was that, guys? Oh no, I'm gonna have to start this scan over. Oh man!
Yeah, I forgot we can't say Herbie's name.
Yeah, Herbie will hear you anywhere in the show.
Well,
like Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Herbie, like anytime you say anything that sounds like Herbie, they're like, yes.
Yeah.
But you're right, Blank. That doesn't seem like enough crime for that number of credits. Whose identity you think they stole? Who you think put this bounty on them?
Must be something big. Is there a way to tell who put the bounty on them? That public records?
So finding out who put the bounty on them is possible. It's not like a bit of broadcast information, but if you go to a like system security outpost, it seems like this bounty is meant to be delivered to the Sutler system. So if you went to a Sutler system security outpost, you would be able to find out. You'd be able to get some information.
Okay, I think that's a reasonable thing to do next, possibly. None of us would have problems going to the Sutler System Security office, would we? Like, none of us are wanted right now, right?
It depends who run that security.
Raise your hand if you're wanted in the Sutler system, just so Cap knows. Okay, so Wardley.
You're wanted.
Blank.
I'm wanted, but not by everybody.
Eli.
Only by
Maria, you're good.
Oh yeah, nah. I don't
Maria,
think anybody there remember me.
The full Galaxy Most Wanted list counts.
Oh, yeah, I might be on there.
Okay,
Maria's a fucking psycho. Dude, they call her the Planet Killer.
That's the title on the wanted.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that they got me confused for a different Maria James.
Yeah.
It's a pretty common name, so it might not be me. I just got one of those faces.
I think on the TV show that was just playing, Maria's face comes up and it's like wanted Planet Killer, 25 credits.
But it's also a picture that's like mostly looks like me.
Right.
But it also could potentially not be me.
The announcer comes on and goes,
Sorry, everybody, we still haven't quite found a great picture of Maria James, but for a 25 credit bounty, quite frankly, if you find anyone who looks remotely like this person, kill him and turn him in. Watch him dead or alive. It is worth the risk.
Hey, Blank, how you feel about loaning that mask to Maria? She might be putting all of our lives in danger.
They quickly type up very firmly shaking their head, but on the phone it just says no with several O's and several exclamation marks at the end of it.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Eli just kind of like ruffles Maria's hair to like get it in their face a little bit more. Just like, we're just trying to hide your visage.
Inexplicably, her hair looks exactly the same as it did before you did that, or at least you think it might. You're not entirely sure. You don't remember.
Damn, Zero Grab.
Crazy.
So if we gonna get ourselves over to the Sutler system, I think our best shot's them gates, but we either gonna have to barter or we gonna have to barge through them.
How much it costs to go through the gates? 1 credit?
Going through the gates is a credit.
And we have no credits, right?
We owe 6 credits, right?
You can take on debt.
More debt.
You can essentially like put it on credit.
Taking on debt to get out of debt doesn't seem.
Is there like
That's just the way.
a bounty Google where we could see if Dick Whiskey has any bounty, even if it's like a quarter credit?
Yeah. Yeah.
You look up Dick Whiskey. Dick Whiskey, there is a bounty on him. It is not worth the paper that it's printed on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dick Whiskey is the smallest of small potatoes. So no, there's nothing you could barter with Dick Whiskey.
Well, it's an investment.
I
Make him
hate
commit some
to
crimes
say it.
and then
I think
sell.
we're going to have to just take on just a little bit more debt.
All right, but I'm going to say this. This is one last job, and then I'm out.
Okay.
Eli, you've been
Eli.
saying that a couple of times.
There's a board that has Eli's last job count, and it's like there's 35 strikes.
Blank holds up a finger, scrolls on the phone a bit, and then plays several audio recordings. Eli saying this at different moments in time.
This is my last job. This here is my last job. This is my last job. After this, I'm getting out. This is my last job.
Yeah.
Eli just sighs so deeply and then just like puts his hat a little lower down his eyes and then just goes and like stands with his arm crossed staring out the window.
Boss, I hate to do this, but should we even be going to the Sutler system? I sort of swore never to return, but you're the boss. So if you say we're going, I'll go, but I'll tell you I'm a little nervous about it.
Oh, Wordly.
Ward's fine.
Sorry, Wordly. Ward, sorry. Everyone, raise your hand if you do not want to return. If you made a vow at some point to never return to the Sutler system, and
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that the boss is raising. Kamari is also
Kamari raised their hand. Kamari raised their hand.
You see, off in the distance, Herbie also raises their hand.
God, what did Herbie do?
Kamari's like, yeah, I don't want to go, but does anyone else have a way we can pay this debt?
Like, shakes their head.
Looks like this is our only choice.
All right, we're going.
So we get Dick Whiskey to commit a 6 credit crime, and then
I think,
turn him in.
Ward, it's gonna be
brilliant.
It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get in, we're gonna get out, and it's all gonna be okay.
What could possibly go wrong?
I can think of several things.
What was that bar that seedy bar we used to go to?
There's a couple of bars in that system, but the one you might be thinking of is Viper's Bar and Grill, which was the home of the Reno Snakes.
Is that on Reno 12?
That's on Reno 12.
Why don't we head to Reno 12 to Viper's Bar and Grill? Maybe we'll get some information there.
The moment you say that, Blank has like several like of their belongings in their arms and like waving as if they're about to just leave the ship somehow as they head towards the escape pod.
Wait, no, wait.
They freeze and turn around.
If I'm going back to the Sutler system, Blank, you're going back to the Sutler system. If Eli's going back to the Sutler system, you're going back to the Sutler system. If Kumari after whatever happened to them.
Kumari like grabs their like hand, that's the right arm that's missing.
Is going back to the Sutler system, then I think you're going back to the Sutler system too.
They do like a very over-exaggerated like body sigh and then type out on their phone, I have people who want me dead at that bar specifically.
Well, good thing you got that mask on. And if they recognize that mask, maybe we'll get you a different mask for that. Okay? Now, we all need to stick together because Maria, probably about to pop off, committed genocide. We all gotta be here to reel her in, try to get out of this debt that we're all in together, okay?
While Eli is saying this, Maria has been Windexing and cleaning the front windshield just to make sure it looks really good for when we do take off. And she's going to gain 1 blues for doing something unremarkable.
Yes. Look at that. Would a normal person do that? No, there's a couple screws
sick,
loose in that
honestly.
spaceship.
Especially because the surrounding of the windshield is filthy.
I also like the idea that like you're cleaning the inside is pristine, but the outside is still shitty. And there's like, you can't get out there. You're in space.
Just trying to do my part to make myself useful. I didn't really have very many ship skills before I came on board here, and I don't know that I actually have any more than I came on with.
You're crazy. You say the craziest stuff, Maria.
She's crazy.
Sometimes out of the corner of my eye, I feel like she grows in size.
Now, all of y'all gather around. We're having a staff meeting. This is my unofficial staff meeting. Okay. Now, none of us want to go back to the Sutler system. But the only way out of this fire is through the fire. So we gotta man up, go back. Captain, maybe we can get your arm back. I don't know. I assume you lost your arm at this karaoke bar.
Why does everyone listen to you when you call a staff meeting?
Because we were already here in the same room. It's easy to just call it a
Worker
meeting if everybody's
solidarity.
already in the same room.
All right, then Kumari takes a note, call meetings when everyone's in the same room. Okay, continue.
Now, I have some staring to do, if you will excuse me.
And he goes to his favorite escape pod and just stares and listens to the music.
Blank goes to the Kumari and again types up and then shows the screen and goes, if we go into debt a little bit more, we can just sell Dick's ship, right?
True.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Good
that's
point.
a real clever idea, Blank.
If we go into, Kumari's trying to understand. If we go into more debt, we can sell Dick's ship. And Kumari's saying this out loud. And then, Dick, how much is your ship worth?
I don't know, man. Like, maybe a solid credit, maybe 2.
Perfect.
So we sell Dick's ship.
Oh, take your finger off the communicator.
What was that?
We're gonna buy your ship back for you and send you on your way, big guy.
Oh, man, that's so nice of you guys. I never had friends before. Everyone I've ever known has just tried to use me and abuse me and cast aside poor Dick Whiskey.
Herbie, how's that scan going?
What was that? Oh, no. I'm going to have to redo this scan. Oh, man.
Oh no! You just hear. It's like when someone has like sticky like rubber gloves. It's just
Yeah.
Herbie always starts with the face. Okay, so we'll go sell Dick's ship, get 2 credits. We won't tell Dick about it.
I'm not sure Dick's going to make it through the end of this journey.
Just in case, nobody tell Dick. Clearly, if they go, they go.
We can handle Dick, I think. Black times.
I'm starting to have emotion. I care for Dick now.
No, Kumari.
Oh, I think we gotta get going.
Okay, let's go sell Dick's ship. Get the credits.
No, we don't have Dick's ship. We gotta go track. Tequila's got Dick's ship, so we gotta track him down. We gotta go further into debt.
And we gotta track.
Let's go get
I'm
for him
yelling all
today.
this from the escape pod because I can.
Okay, thank you, Eli. Thank you.
Track him down. So just everybody get to your stations. I imagine is what the captain will say when it's time to go.
Everyone, do what Dick just did. Just what Eli just said. Get to your stations and let's get this bad boy going.
That sounds good to me. Captain.
Yep.
Maria does the kind of over-exaggerated salute because she knows that it'll make Kumari feel really good about being in charge.
Kumari salutes them back and is like really proud and like sits in their captain's chair.
Blank shows the salute emoji before
Kumari gives a salute.
Oh my god.
And then it's kind of like waiting for like Ward to salute them and just it's like has the hand on the top of their head.
Mm-hmm. I'll see you in a bit. I'll see you in a bit, Captain.
Okay, and then we'll do that later. Eli, I'm saluting you. Okay.
I give a very cowboyly nod.
And then Kumari sits in their chair, and I think Kumari doesn't really know how to navigate or do anything with the ship, but like wants to feel important. So they built like fake buttons, like a kid playing video games that like just isn't connected.
Wait, Kumari built it for themselves, or
no,
or everyone else built it? For
everyone
Kumari?
built it for Kumari to make them feel important.
Yeah,
it does. I think it does. It's not totally like non-functional, but it maybe like controls.
It like makes like little kid noises, like
something.
lights up and stuff.
It's like the volume for the aux.
Yeah, it basically like you press buttons that have the various crew members' names, and it like highlights their station to just let them know to do their job.
Yeah,
just like that's the most you get.
What is everybody's job for flight?
I think we said I'm piloting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be on one of the weapon systems.
Oh my god. We have on our ship, we have a biocompass, which is illegal. So we should make sure that our illegal shit is stored before we go through customs. But we have, it's a handheld baton with a small compartment at the bottom. Points toward the location of a target whose biological matter is scanned, accurate up to a citywide range. Oh,
ooh! So we can
let's
track
ask
down
Dick if he has any of Tequila's if there's any of Tequila's hair on his jacket, or if he has any of Tequila's spit in a vial.
Or we could.
Hey, Dick, you got any of that
Dick,
good tequila?
You haven't got any tequila spit in a vial.
Let's ask him about the hair first and inspect his jacket, and then
we can ask Herbie because Herbie's probably identified any. Should we roll for this?
true.
We ask Herbie
During the scan.
Yeah, go ahead and actually we're gonna do this with the ship stats.
Yay!
Oh, nice.
Ship stats.
So Kelly, why don't you go ahead and roll 2d6, and we'll add the ship's system stat, which is +1.
So that's a 5.
So it doesn't beat 8. Herbie does a quick boop, 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 boop.
Hey, boss, doesn't look like there's any outside hair here. Just a lot of this guy's, DNA on himself.
What if we use Dick's DNA to track his ship? Because his ship probably has some of his DNA still.
my God, this is why you're the captain.
This is why Captain's still the captain. I got the captain ideas still.
You're so clever, Kumari.
Aw, thanks, Maria.
You guys go up to Dick, and you've got to take a small sampling of DNA.
Blank just cuts hair off. Blank doesn't say anything.
I thought you were going to say you cut a finger off.
Walks up to Dick and just snips. Way too much hair, way more hair than they need, but it snips some hair.
Oh man, not my rat tail! Oh,
They type up. I was doing you a favor, and then walks away to use this hair sample.
You cut off 6 inches of a rat tail, and only an inch of hair could fit in this compartment. But you throw it in. This device starts to you hear it whirring and buzzing, and then kind of click, 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 click. But it does begin to illuminate in the direction, the vague direction, because it's a number of light years off, of what would very likely be the Sutler system. There's only a few systems out that edge of space. So it seems like that's where you're heading. When you get closer, when you get in the system, you'll be able to better suss out where exactly you're going to be heading to.
All right, everybody, you know the drill. Get your contraband in your hidey holes. We're going to be going through customs.
All right, we got the skeleton key card and the bio compass as contraband. So, do we have any kind of armored compartment? Where do we normally stash this stuff?
We definitely just have a loose floorboard somewhere.
Okay, I'll stash it under like the loose floorboard that we have.
Maria's tried to line it with like steel or metal or something in the hope that it might confuse the scanner. Or lead, yes.
I love it.
But
yeah, it's a patchwork compartment at best, but you haven't gotten caught thus far.
But you know what? They're all over the ship, and there's so much random crap in here that I feel like when you go through customs, it's always the customs officer is like, this feels like a lot of paperwork. I just kind of don't feel like dealing.
In the same way that like Maria is easy to ignore because she's so normal, this ship is easy to ignore because it's too much work to look at.
Yeah.
You can't look directly at it.
I love that.
They just see us approaching and they're like, they're gonna be a lot.
Blank would hide their board as well, because there are several components in that are very much illegal. Have been long recalled, but they haven't replaced or changed them.
Yeah, if you don't turn off your board in the exact right order, it will explode.
Yeah. I think that was the first words to come out of my phone was like, "Don't touch my board, you might die." And then after like quickly type, delete and type, "That's not a threat, that's like a promise." And then quickly type that, like, "That wasn't a threat either, I mean you might actually die."
It took a whole day of like miscommunication, us being like raising our guns and then putting the deck down and then raising our guns.
Just a day-long standoff.
Should we kill Blank?
Yeah.
And then yes, Kamari was like, should we kill Blank? Kamari's like, we do
Really not
need
a good team player.
We need a pilot. I've just sort of been going in circles. I'm not doing great on the piloting system. It ain't my skill.
No, you're doing fine.
There's a number of systems where Blank's board is considered a deadly weapon.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Love it.
You guys make your way towards the nearest Van Kier gateway. You would know the Van Kier gates are run by a company called CalStar, which is a company who invented FTL drives, fast and light drives, but realized they were way too expensive for most people to afford. And so they essentially went with, we could make the fancy car, we could also make a toll road. And so they're getting their money coming and going. You make your way to a Van Kier gateway, and there's like a small line of ships lining up, and it is very much what you think of from like The Expanse or Cowboy Bebop. It is a giant ring with some kind of like trans-dimensional space kind of emanating through it. You're seeing through, literally because it's fast and light, you're seeing through time and space in this gateway because they are physically folding space through various insane ways that none of you really know how they work, but you know that so far they've worked every time. Or at least as far as you know.
Microwave.
Can we cut the line, cut someone off? Can Blank cut someone off?
Oh, yeah, you can cut someone off if you want.
Yeah.
Blank, go ahead and roll me. I'll say with your ship, go ahead and roll 2d6 and add your mobility.
Can they have an upper hand because of it's a captain?
Yeah, sure. You can have the upper hand. I'll let you do either mobility if you want to be like slick with it, or body if you want to like physically body check another ship.
What?
I think I think we're trying hard not to bring attention to us. So I think I'll just go with mobility, which isn't great, but...
Okay, so roll 3d6, take the top two.
Oh, okay, that's not great. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not able to. A 5.
No!
You go to cut someone off, and immediately you get hailed by this like big looking trucker. She looks at you, she's got this like big tattoo across half her face, goes,
What the fuck you think you're trying to do? Back in the line, motherfucker!
Maria is 100% at the communications helm as the face of this ship. And she's gonna just try to say, oh, we're real sorry about that. We didn't understand where the line began. We're in a bit of a rush. If you don't mind us cutting in here, we'll be out of your way real quick.
Go and roll a savvy check. Jesus. I'll say you got to go against the odds. So roll 3 and take the lower 2.
Oh, damn it.
I rolled pretty good. It's a 10.
Whoa! Wow. You see this woman sees your just plainest of plain Jane faces. And immediately her expression softens and goes,
I'm sorry, honey. It's good to hear someone with the accent of my people. You know what? It can be tough out here in the Frontier Galaxy. Like, you know what? Go ahead. I got nowhere to be. Quite frankly, if this takes a little longer for me, I get paid just a little bit more. I'm trying to get some overtime. So you go on in, honey, okay? I like your ship. You got, not a lot of people go with the flowers and the pastels in this galaxy, but I like to see it.
Oh, thank you. And you get that overtime. You certainly owned it. And I'm going to gain 1 blues because someone trusted me when they would not trust a normal outlaw.
Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yes.
She also sends you a message, like a message comes up on your screen with her call sign, which is Blue Betty.
Well, thank you, Blue Betty. We'll be, as I said, out of your hair in just a quick second.
A quick second, a lickety split. I'll see you around. If you happen to see the Blue Betty coming up on any of your channels, you just give me a holler and tell me how your day's been, all right?
I certainly will do that, Betty. I look forward to chatting with you in the future.
All right. Take it easy.
She gives you a small salute and the screen goes down. You make it to the front of the line.
Excellent.
You get hailed again, this time by a CalStar customs officer. This CalStar customs agent comes over your screen and goes,
Hey, all right, what system you going to today? Excuse me. Hello and welcome to the Vancouver Gateway, brought to you by CalStar. Which system are you going to today?
Kumari goes, "Don't worry, I'll talk to this guy." This guy, and pulls out a mic that they gave Kumari to pretend like they're talking to official people. And they're like, "I'll be in the mic room," and they go to the other room to start talking to this guy.
All right. While our captain is giving you the lowdown, we're going to the Sutler system.
And then at the same time, what are you saying in the other room?
Hey, Kumari here. How's your day going?
Oh, you're going to the Sutler system. Okay, that'll be 1 credit.
No, I didn't say that. Well, but we are going. How did you know we're going to the Sutler system? It's very intuitive.
Oh, they're real smart people over at CalStar. Sir, how your day going?
My day's going pretty well. Thanks for asking. Is that going to be should I charge this to the ship's account, corporate account, personal account? It's be 1 credit.
Oh, you could put it on my account. That's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna charge that to the ship's account.
All right, charge it to the ship's account. Okay, cool.
No, I said my account.
All right, that's been charged to the ship's account. That's 20%.
Always does it.
Oh, you getting in troubles with that mic, boss?
Yeah.
We gotta get that figured out. Sometimes our comms is a little sketchy.
No, I think my mic's working just fine, but thank you very much.
No, what? Yeah, no, can you, hello?
Hello, sir?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, cool. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh my god.
Okay, great.
So, yeah, I think what are we talking about? Are we good? Are we good here?
Hey, boss, you wrapping things up?
Yeah, it's totally covered. I think we're good. We're good, right?
I think we're good, right?
I think we're good. You enjoy your flight to the Vancouver Gateways, brought to you as always by CalStar.
Thank you so much. We have no illegal contraband on our ship.
You have a good day, sir.
You have a good day, too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
And then Kumari walks back in. It's like, "Don't worry, I handled that so well."
Oh, thanks, boss. It sounded like they might have been a real tough one.
Yeah. Comms broke up a little bit, but I think we're good.
They keep doing that.
I think Ward is stifling laughter, actively.
We gotta get those comm systems checked out when we're not in the red anymore.
I'll put that on the agenda for tomorrow.
I just want to make sure I played that right. The game was that your comms didn't work at all.
Yeah, it did not work
Okay,
at
so
all.
making sure.
That was so perfect. It was incredible to watch.
You guys bring your ship forward, and as it touches the kind of distorted space-time, all of a sudden you feel a familiar kind of stomach-churning moment of zoom. Space goes silent around you, the hum of the ship stops, and you just go... As the feeling of nausea passes, that pit in your stomach kind of remains as you guys fly very, very quickly towards memories that you would rather have avoided. In fact, you have avoided by going some systems away, light years away from your problems. But as you go back, you experience something that a lot of people have experienced when they fly through hyperspace. Many people call it hyperspace nostalgia. Flashes of memories and things that burn just that little bit brighter as you travel faster than light. Not full memories, but just fragments of things that you've been avoiding, fragments of things that linger in your mind and always will linger in your mind. I want to go around to everyone, and I don't want to hear like a full flashback scene. I just want to hear like a small fragment of something that is lingering in each of your characters' minds as you travel through hyperspace. Starting with the captain. Paint us just a small piece of a picture.
We flash back to it's like middle of the night. It's like raining, and you see like Kumari standing in front of a like building that's on fire. In their classic duster, that's just the back of their head. And then like you can slowly kind of see coming into eyesight that on like the building that's on fire, it says Calypso's karaoke can.
As we pull back from that flashback, as we see the silhouette of Kumari, does Kumari still have both of their arms, or do they just have one arm?
They just have one arm, and you can see like blood dripping from their right side of their body.
We fade over into the pilot's seat. Blank, what's a fragment of memory that comes into your mind?
I think as we fade over to the pilot seat, you'd first see Blank with a hand on the wheel, just kind of keeping an eye out just in case he needs to do very sudden turns in FTL. And the other hand is just kind of rubbing the front of their neck. And I think this is when viewers will notice that along the front of their neck is a jagged scar, long healed over. But then it fades into a open bleeding scar as you fade into this memory, as you see Blank staggering out of a building, hand clasped over their neck, blood dripping out between their fingers, and them practically crawling onto their hoverboard and speeding off, barely holding on. They're not even standing on the board at this point, they're just lying on it like it's a surfboard and gripping as tight as they can, trying not to look behind them, but knowing that they're leaving something behind as they do.
As hyperspace nostalgia can sometimes make memories more potent, it can also bring on that phantom limb or that phantom pain experience, and you feel just that little bit of lingering, long-lost pain across that scar as we fly over to the communications board, to a very plain Jane face filled with some memories that may not be so. What's popping into Maria James's head?
Maria's eyes just go black as she remembers holding the knife, standing up. No, I'm kidding. She doesn't think of that. Maria,
I knew it.
I was like, oh my God.
No, Maria's just thinking about, the last time that she was home, taking her back to having an off day from the ranch and getting a couple of errands that she needed done herself done, and getting a visit from a friend she hadn't seen in a while, asking if she wanted to come help do some errands. And she said, Kumari, yeah, let's catch up. I gotta get some milk, and I gotta get some more duct tape for fixing, temporary fixings. And that was the last time Maria was ever home.
We hear some chickens clucking as we fade over to Ward. Where do we find you?
I think Ward is like sitting in his quarters, just bandaging up his foot. I think Ward has like taken on some of the repairs to help out around the ship and like take some stuff off Maria's plate, but the ship's doing okay right now. But normally he's manning the engine room and stuff like that.
As you are fixing up some stuff, a pang of nostalgia, a pang of memory hits the back of your head. What memory pops into your head?
I think it's the night before everything went bad. And I think that Ward is in like the back room of a bar with his dad and his brother, and he is giving an impassioned like, I'm sick and tired of the Jacksons being under the Perazzos. Like, we could be our own thing. We could be our own operation. Like, Dad, it's time to make a move. And like, I look to my brother Finn for support, and like the last lingering bit of the memory is him just saying like, fuck it, I'm in.
And as "fuck it, I'm in" just lingers in the air, we see another figure, hand against the glass, looking out into the infinite abyss of space. Eli, what memory is pulsing in the back of your head?
A cargo bay full of smoke and screams. Mostly men, but one woman's voice screaming, "No, no!" And then a bang. And then nothing but silence.
Bang rings out in all of your heads somehow, just that little bang off in the distance. You begin to look out of the front window and you see the telltale signs of the end of a hyperspace byway as space begins to kind of coalesce, stars begin to form closer, and you see off in the distance a very small ring that very quickly grows larger and larger, and silence. Another strange rippling of space and time, a pit in your stomach that almost makes you want to throw up as you return to space and time as we know it, having been momentarily outside of time and space as you traveled across light years.
Thank you for traveling through the Vampire Gates, brought to you by CalStar. Welcome to the Sutler System.
A small thing plays over your comms as you look out into a very familiar system surrounding a dying star. You see a couple of small planets, all pretty barren and vaguely inhabited, most of them kind of desert planets with small outposts. You see this cookie cutter independent space station, Sutler Orbital. You see a kind of blinking Sutler 47 route fuel hub, which is a kind of basically a gas station, like an interstellar gas station with like a small motel and like an 812, which is the convenience store around here.
Get out of here.
It's in the book.
It's not in the book. All right.
There's a small mining outpost city on the planet Georgia Delta 3, and nearby, one of the nearest planets is Georgia Alpha 2, where you know the primary hub city of Reno 12 is located. Because this is information you guys already have, you guys know that Reno 12 is the home of the Reno Snakes. It's the home of the Perazzo family. It was the home of Saul Jackson last time you saw him. Sutler 47 Fuel Hub has a motel and some various like stuff on it. Sutler Orbital is the independent space station. It acts as like a big hub for travelers. You can find Sutler Security Systems outposts on both Sutler Orbital and on Reno 12. There is also a mining outpost city on Georgia Delta 3 that is, I don't think any of you would have been to that much. It's kind of a boom or bust mining town that last time you guys were here at least was in a bust cycle. We'll see if it's gotten any better in the intervening years. Though if any of you know anything about boom or bust cycles, they rarely get better in the Frontier Galaxy.
Kamari, after like coming out of all that, is like, "Oh, time hallucination headache. Maria, can you make me a tea?"
Yeah, I'll get on that tea right now.
Great.
And anyone else want tea? Make it brewing up a pot.
I'll take tea,
but no sugar.
I'll take tea, 2 sugars.
Blank, you want some? She makes sure to go over to Blank to see what they've written.
Yeah. Blank, I think all Blank types up is thumbs up emoji.
You got it.
And then Kamari goes, What direction is the biocompass pointing?"
Oh, yeah.
You guys look at the biocompass. You guys kind of pointed out the window, and it is basically this kind of like divining rod type thing. It's for being as high tech as it is, this can track people across star systems. It ultimately is a like metal detector. It's like point and shoot kind of thing.
Does it beep like a metal detector?
It does beep. It goes boop, 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 boop.
And it can only target, like the smallest range you can target is like the size of a city, right? So it's not like that accurate.
Correct. It'll definitely get you to like the right area or like the right section. Once you get into a like city, it'll still kind of give you a general direction, but once you get too close, it's just kind of...
It's like, yeah, you're nearby.
But it lets you go many light years away. So they really went for the short wave stuff. You pointed out towards where you know the general hub city of Reno 12 to be, and it boop, boop, kicks you to the left, and you see it is pointing towards Sutler 47 fuel route hub, which you know is like a truck stop, basically. It's a place for people to refuel, to sleep, to hang. That's at least where the ship is.
Copy.
Well, we gotta sell that ship in order to make our debts paid, so not a bad place to start.
That's also where John is.
John Tequila?
John Tequila. Well, isn't he with the ship? Is our some?
We hope so. Well, he
We
could have
hope
sold
so.
the ship, maybe.
He could have sold the
Okay.
ship.
Let's go mush to Sutler 47 fuel stop.
Did you say mush?
I said mush. That's
I think
isn't that-
Blank also turns and goes, types up, did you say mush?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying out different
Are we
phrases.
are we your sled dogs, boss?
Oh, I'm the cat. You're not slut. No, don't put words in my mouth.
Right.
Don't
You put the
think
word
if
mush out
anything,
there.
I think the engine would be the sled dog in this analogy.
Okay, I get it. We don't like mush. I won't say mush again. I'm sorry.
Blank types up. We should really pass this through like a staff meeting or something. We should.
Are you
probably
kidding
go to
me?
next-
Yeah.
Yeah, boss, if you're gonna start
Oh,
using
is Blank,
crazy
are you calling
language,
a
you
staff
really
meeting?
gotta... Oh, yeah, Blank
Yeah,
wanted
let's-
to talk about something?
All right.
Blank types up. Yeah, let's have a staff meeting.
I am all ears.
Boss,
buddy.
boss. Blank is leading a staff meeting, please.
Kumari
Blank holds up hands like, come on, boss, come on.
Kumari defeated is just in their seat listening.
I think at this point, Maria comes walking out from wherever their like, tiny little horrible kitchen is with a tray that's got a bunch of tea, and it also has some bowls of like an oatmeal kind of a sustenance with whatever sort of fixins she could find. She's like, I overheard somebody say the word mush over the comms, and I thought maybe we could use a little snack. So I brought a little something.
Maria's space mush. Oh, I love this stuff.
Love a bowl of space mush.
Space mush.
I love that you guys exist in a society that people have been in space for generations, but you still call it space mush.
That's
Mush
actually,
on the ground is just regular mush.
yeah.
Yes,
brown
it's fair.
mush.
It's fair. That's on me.
Yeah, this one is a little airier because there's no gravity to smush it into the bowl. So it's a little fluffier, a little airier than ground mush.
Yeah.
Blank holds like a like text meeting. So I think like it shows up on everyone's displays or just like different ways to ask, hey, let's go over there. Instead of mush.
Kumari goes, oh, Herbie, staff meeting.
What was that? Oh no! I have to do this scan one more time.
You just hear from the distance. You go, what? Is it done? Oh man!
Oh man, Dick Whiskey, you're gonna have to do that scan one more time. Sorry, hun.
Do I really have to? And you just hear guns cocking from the distance. He goes, okay, I'm sorry. You guys make your way towards the Route 47 fuel hub. You see in the distance, there's essentially this like disc-like station with a large kind of like sphere in the center, and parked on like the sides of the disc are a bunch of different ships. You see a bunch of like large freighters. You see some small like personal craft. You see some medium-sized ships. As you are approaching, you see Dick Whiskey kind of like yells from the back. He goes, "Hey, that's my ship! That's my ship! Yeah, that's the girl! Oh!
The name of your ship is the girl?
No, that's my girl! That's the yellow lily over there!"
Oh, the Yellow Lily. I
Yellow
like
Lily.
the
Good name.
girl is a ship's name, though.
I
the
can get
Yellow
it changed
Lily.
if you like.
I think that's a different ship, Dick. Don't get too attached.
No, that's definitely my ship. I know the Yellow Gilly from here to Timbuktu.
Someone. You should go check out your room, Dick, while we go get your.
I've got a room?
Yeah, you're.
He's still tied up. He's still fully tied up.
I can't wait to see my room. I've never had a room before. I've never had friends before. I just had people who used and abused me and then leave me by the side of the road without not a penny to my name or a room to call my own.
Guys, we can't.
Dick, I think you have, I don't want to get into this too much right now, but I think you have made a series of terrible decisions and you need to have everything taken away from you until you can, appreciate what you have. Because you say you never had a room, but you had your own ship. That's a room.
You do see the ship out the window that he's pointing to, and it is like a station wagon. It is not this ship. It is a personal craft with it. Yeah, actually, the way like long haul truckers have like a small room in the back of their truck or like above their truck, that's about the extent of it.
All right, Dick. No one should be made to sleep in their car, so you can stay with us for now.
I never had a room. This is going to be just the best time. I'm so glad that you guys tried to shoot me.
As you guys make your way to Sutler 47 Fuel Hub, who would be manning the comm station right now?
I'm trying to decide if Maria would be
I like Maria on comms. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Maria would head back to the comms, knowing that we're approaching. Because we're going to the Sutler Orbital.
You're going to the fuel hub.
Oh, the fuel hub. So it's less of an official.
Right.
Yeah. This is just a refueling station.
This is the 812.
It has an. This is basically like one of those really fancy truck stops that, like, when you go in, there's like a bunch of different restaurants and like there's showers in the back and there's like.
I could use a shower.
I'm gonna play the gachapon machines.
Gachapa.
Can I make Kumari and Maria roll contesting rolls to see whether we're lucky about who's at the comm station?
Yeah, sure. Both of you roll 2d6 and add your.
Oh no!
Add your savvy, I guess.
7.
Oh, we rolled a lucky 13. Maria's heading up that comms.
As you are over at the comms, can you go ahead and roll me a ship's system check? So go ahead and roll 2d6, and I believe you'll add 1.
Ship system, I rolled a 3 and a 4, so that's a 7, and 1 is 8.
8 is exactly enough, since the DC is always 8 in this game, that you happen to pick up a very faint signal coming through your comms. There's a lot of various like commercials and things being blasted into space near this truck stop. It's a bunch of, this is where everyone stops off. There's, ads for the various casinos that are on, or sorry, the single casino that is on Reno 12 that you guys know is run by the Perazzo family. That's getting blasted in your ears left and right. There's advertisements for sales going on at the 812. There's a number of communications kind of jamming the frequency, but underneath that frequency is a very faint beeping. Beep, beep, beep. That as you pull aside all of the other communications and mute them and, close out all the pop-up ads, essentially, you recognize as a very faint distress call coming from the Route 47 fuel hub. And that's where we'll end for this episode.
Oh, no!
Didn't see that coming.
That is the end of episode 1 of this Orbital Blues adventure. Tune in next time to see who is calling for distress and how our outlaws will answer the call. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang.
Instead of bang, bang.
A bang and a bang. Instead of bang, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 space.
That's our theme song.
Tell behold, we have our song already.
Bang, 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 space. If you're looking for more great gaming content from everyone here at Many Sided Media, you should consider subscribing to the 20 Sided newsletter. It's a free, bi-monthly newsletter for people who love games, make games, and just love making games. To subscribe, just go to 20sidednewsletter.substack.com or follow the link in the show notes.